of global ethics. And perhaps, how many of you are aware of the global ethics that was endorsed in Chicago in 1993 at the Parliament of World Religions? Yes. So perhaps the most important, well, let me not judge which declaration is most important, but the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is extremely, extremely important as a statement of global ethics. And it was adopted by the UN General Assembly in 1948. And it was a statement of principles, but not legally binding. In that respect, it's like the Earth Charter, which is not legally binding, but it's a statement of values, which offers a vision. The treaties, which are legally binding, were created on human rights 18 years later. So that's how long it took. These political processes take a long time. And the global ethic is one which aspires to be normative or authoritative for a global community. So in some way, it hopes that there is already a global community emerging. It's a bit different from the universal intent. That is, this ethic applies to everybody, but there might not yet be a world community. So example, the 5 precepts of Buddhism apply to everyone, human beings and non-human beings. But when we say a global ethic, we're saying that there is a world community that in some way can bring forth this declaration. And so we could say there are 2 phases of affirmation. First, the declaration is unveiled, is brought forth into the world. So we could say that this happened with the Earth Charter, was finalized in 2000. Then it is promoted, disseminated, so that it will have an influence. So there's a kind of a circular movement that it comes from a global community and then it tries to build up or foster the global community. And so the Earth Charter was created by what's been called by some people the broadest and most participatory consultative process ever to be held for a document. So, but as was stated, it also incorporates anything that was agreed upon in a United Nations summit, anything that's already in international law, because although not legally binding, it's supposed to be able to serve as a basis of law. And as a matter of fact, a number of countries have already incorporated Earth Charter principles into their constitutions. So what is different about the Earth Charter? The process that, by which it was drafted is the citizens' process. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights was drafted by a commission, which, as you probably know, is chaired by Eleanor Roosevelt, a bit different. And, well, the Earth Charter is different in this way, in at least this way. It talks about the community of all life. And there are repeated references to the community of all life and to the Earth community. So that the moral community that the Earth Charter speaks about is not just human beings. And that is, it is all life. And that is a radical departure from human rights documents, even though, as you gather from what's been said already, human rights is included. Human dignity, human rights is included within the Earth Charter, but the Earth Charter is broader. And also the Earth Charter, and it's wonderful that Michael had that this quotation is so remarkable, the human spirit, okay, it says the protection of Earth's vitality, diversity, and beauty is a sacred trust, and that the phrase, here it is, actually it's on the screen in front of me and in front of you, the spirit of human solidarity and kinship with all life is strengthened when we live with reverence for the mystery of being, gratitude for the gift of life, and humility regarding the human place in nature. This is a different moral consciousness from documents that speak of human dignity and human benefit alone. So I think this is all I wanted to say. The Earth Charter is not being there isn't an imminent possibility, I mean, that is to say this year, next year, whatever, of the charter being brought before the General Assembly of the UN, is that correct? Some would still hope that that might happen, but in the meantime it's gaining in impact all across the world through use by governments, by educators, by religious groups, and many, many others. Thank you.